class. Today I'm going to be talking to you about response to intervention. Response to intervention is a few things. First, it is site specific. Okay, that means is that RTI is a model that's utilized at a particular site and can be individualized for a specific site depending on what their goals are. RTI is also thorough. Okay, it's meaning that we set up goals regarding RTI, and it's a very thorough process. So we look to see what our areas of opportunity are, and how we can best serve students, and it's a very thorough system. Next, RTI is systematic. Okay, it's a system, a very clear-cut system that is comprised of an academic domain and then also a behavioral domain, and then we have different interventions that are weaved into that system. And so again, it has many different parts, but it is very systematic. Next, RTI is multi-tiered. So there's 3 tiers in the RTI model. Some say it's a 4-tier model, depending what type of model you're instituting within your specific site. But it's a multi-tiered system, and it goes from not restrictive to very restrictive. Um, and by restrictive, I mean to say that we have an increase in frequency and duration of services that are provided. Next, RTI involves parents. So again, there's a relationship between the site and the parents in terms of providing interventions for students that would best be beneficial. And RTI is evidence-based. That means that there has been literature reviews done that are peer-reviewed, and that it is they're scientifically based practices that we utilize, whether that's in regards to instruction and curriculum when we are talking about interventions, or we're talking about programming within specific sites, and what have you. Now this is the first tier. The first tier is the bottom of the pyramid here, and what we have here on what I have here listed is A and B. Now A, what that means is that's their academic domain, okay? And then the B is the behavioral domain. Now, regarding tier 1, 80% of students should be caught up within that tier itself. 80% of students. So this is what we have site-wide every single day of the school year, what we go into the school year planning. So for academic, we have instructional agreements between administration and staff. We have curriculum that we utilize. We also have our LCAP goals, okay? And then tied to the LCAP goals are our site-wide goals. So we look at those goals, and we use that as a measurement for how efficacious or efficient or not efficacious, or how effective our interventions are. Okay. In the behavioral domain, we have site-wide training such as sexual health. We have Project Alert that's geared towards substance abuse. And we also have awareness events such as Red Ribbon Week, and then other different awareness events depending on where you are and depending on what demographic you're serving and what you're prioritizing. Next is tier 2. This is a little bit more intensive, as I said. As we go up the tiers, the frequency and duration of services becomes greater. So in regards to the academic domain, we're looking at targeted small group interventions generally, and this is where we would want to have instructional coaches employed, probably through the county or under the outside consulting service. So for example, if you're a site and you have great gains to make in regards to ELA scores regarding your SBAC, you might want to look at setting up some SMART goals within your site, and then employing instructional coaches to help you, prioritize what you need to in regards to that, whether that's comprehension, whether that's decoding, whether that's fluency in decoding rather, or vocabulary, depending on what you're looking at. Okay. Now, in regards to the behavioral domain, you're looking at one-on-one time with a site BISPA, behavior support specialist, or a school counselor. It's providing students with that one-on-one time with a site BISPA or school counselor. I would also include staff in that as well, because regarding staff, I think sometimes we make the assumption that, you know, that staff is generally set up for success in terms of providing behavior management, but sometimes they don't know the evidence-based, research-based practices regarding behavior management, regarding behaviorism, and what have you. So one-on-one time with the BISPA and the school counselor, I think, is extremely important and integral in regards to meeting the needs of students behaviorally, as well as that. And then also, this is probably where you'd want to have a behavioral consultant employed through the county as well that can provide certain trainings to help staff know how to implement specific evidence-based practices, whether that be differential reinforcement of a desired behavior, whether that's a response cost system or token economies, or whether that is also, or whether that's response blocking and redirection. So those evidence-based practices, I still think it'll be helpful to, in the tier 2 intervention to provide a behavioral consultant. Also within the tier 2, part of the pyramid here, you should be reaching about 15% of your student population. So after that 80% is met in the tier 1, this is supposed to get the 15%. That's covering about 95%. So tier 1 and tier 2 are covering about 95% of your student population. And the F plus D to the second power there, that's just saying that our frequency and duration of services that we're providing students are doubling, is what it looks like. So again, tier 2 is pretty intensive. At my site specifically right now, we have areas of opportunity regarding tier 2 academic interventions. We're fine, I think, in regards to behavioral, since our site hired a BISPA, we have all of that, but we definitely have some area of opportunity and area of growth in regards to tier 2 targeted interventions. But I would also say that this is a wonderful opportunity in regards to the academic domain in tier 2 for your special ed department, your special ed teachers to team up with your general education teachers in order to teach them about accommodations and modifications, about how best meet the needs of students who might have unique needs within their classes. So that way that students who would probably need very basic level accommodations or modifications don't need to be referred to special education services, but rather they could already have those needs met within the general education classroom, which is what we're looking for. Okay, so moving on. This is the most intensive tier here. So this has the academic and behavioral domains. If you look under academic, we're looking at special education evaluation, we're looking at student study teams, and what have you. So we're definitely looking at an evaluation for a student for special education services. And then in the behavioral domain, we're looking at county service providers such as mental health, individual counseling, or what have you. So that's what we're looking at in the behavioral domain. So this should cover about 5%, the remaining 5% of your student population. And then what I said here is that the frequency plus duration, F plus D to the third power. So our frequency and duration of our services is not only doubling, but it's tripling. Okay, so we're tripling those services. So it's becoming very intensive in terms of the services that we're providing. A very structured environment, explicit instruction, meeting their needs through individual one-on-one counseling with a service provider, probably through the county, and then also that we're looking at making a psychoeducational report to see if the student qualifies under any of the IDEA's disability codes. So these are our 3 tiers here, and tries to make this. So I really loved this picture because I felt like it really represented why we have RTI, why we have such a systematic and thorough system in place, is to serve our students. Because if we don't have a system in place, if we just have everybody kind of doing their own thing, doing what they think is right, that's fine. I mean, we could have the best intentions, but as a site and as a district, I think that we need to think in a more systematic way, so that way we're able to reach as many of our kids as possible who might be in need of interventions in the academic or behavioral domains, or might be in need of services. So ultimately, this is who we are serving. We're serving our kids. So I really love this picture, and I think it really represents what we do. So why we have response to intervention as a model. Okay. presentation. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.